everybody, and welcome back to Fruttini's channel. Today I just wanted to come back and just give you a bit of a progress video really on how I've been getting on with my current diamond painting. As you can see, I have done quite a bit since my last live stream. I think we only did like this little section here on my last live stream. So I have done quite a bit in the last week. It is starting to resemble the picture now. I was a little bit worried initially because of all this section down here. It didn't look like it fit. Obviously, the further away from the canvas you are, the more detailed it seems. So I think my initial reactions to it were, because I was looking at it from such a close angle, that I think that was what did it. I just thought that I was sitting so close to it, it just looked like a bunch of diamonds just stuck onto a canvas. But it is starting to take shape. Even sat here quite close now, I can see it better in the viewfinder, but even looking up close now, I can actually work out what it is. So we've got, if I put on the picture, oh, not that one. Okay, so this is the picture. So as you can see, it is a slightly different, it's obviously a very different shade to how it looks on the picture itself. But you can see that this section down here, that's where all the blue flowers are. And then you come down to the bit of a shaded area. And then you've got the feather. And then just above here you've got a little bit more shading, and then you've got the flower basket, and around here you've got individual, on the picture it looks like it's some kind of some cloth, some tapestry of some kind, and it's like got flower patterns on each one. So these blobs that you can see here, these are actually the patterns from the tapestry or the cloth or whatever it is on the basket. And then we're now working on the flowers, and then up here is the start of the first yellow flower, and yeah, so you can see now what it is that I'm working on. So I wanted to do a bit of a progress video for you because I haven't done a live this week. I'm going to diamond paint while I'm talking to you. My health hasn't been the best this week. First of all, I was coming down with the flu or a cold, and that left me feeling quite run down. I've been busy at work on top of that as well, and then I've had a bit of another health scare that I don't really want to get into right now. All I will say is that I'm on some pretty strong tablets, and they're making me feel quite unwell at the moment. Yeah, it's quite difficult to talk about because I try and see the positive side of everything, but sometimes, especially when it comes to your health, I get a little bit scared, obviously. So I have got to go and see my doctor again on Thursday, I think it is. I've got to book an appointment on Thursday just to see my doctor again, and then I've got to go back and see her again in 4 weeks as a follow-up appointment. And then after the next 4 weeks have passed, I'll have a bit more information and where we go from there. And then hopefully by then I'll have a bit more information to give you guys. But at the moment, we're just seeing how I respond to this medication that I've been given, but it has made me feel really unwell, so I've not really been in the best frame of mind to do a live stream. So instead I've been doing some unboxings, and I thought today I would come back and do a progress video for you. So apart from that, really, my week has been pretty standard as weeks go. I've got 3 more weeks left to go before I finish for a week. It's half term. I think we finish on the 26th. I think it's the 26th of October, whatever the last Friday is of the month. That's when I finish for a week. So I've got that to look forward to. And then on the weekend of the 3rd of November, I've got headphones on. I don't know why. I'm wearing headphones. I was watching a YouTube video earlier, that's why, and I just forgot to take them off. Yeah, and then on the 3rd of November, it's my sister's wedding anniversary, and she's booked to go away for the weekend. So she's asked me if I will look after her dogs while she's away, because they tend to bark and howl and create general havoc. So, and I think they annoy her neighbours somewhat. So she's asked me if I will take care of her dogs while she's away. So on that weekend, I've decided I'm going to take a couple of these small diamond paintings that I've unboxed recently, and I'm going to take a couple of those with me and perhaps do a live stream. Depending on what the internet connection's like at my sister's house, we might do a live stream. If not, we might do just a progress video. But hopefully I'm going to have stable enough internet to do a live stream. If not, I'll just use my own data. I have plenty of data, so there shouldn't be an issue with any of my data. So yeah, I've got a few. There's not really that much happened really, apart from all this health business. But hopefully I'm gonna be right as rain after having these tablets. So hopefully that clears whatever it is up, and I'll be able to just get on with my life. But whenever you have things like this looming over you, you always tend to think the worst. And yeah, I think I need some more wax on my pen. So what I thought I would also do today, I've found this tag on Google. I've had a quick look through some of the questions. I might not get around to answering them all, but I thought I would do a quick tag. I think there's 50 or like 100 or 150 questions, but I'm not going to answer them all because I would be here all night otherwise. But just before I start that though, just to recap about this painting, I am still so happy with this painting. It's been such a pleasure to work on. I found 1 or 2 little bad diamonds, but nothing on the scale that I've had from previous paintings, you know. I've been thoroughly impressed with what I've seen so far with this painting. So I was actually looking today at more diamond paintings. Not that I need any more diamond paintings, I've got so many now. And I've also got my custom coming hopefully this week, which is going to be my mum's Christmas gift. So hopefully I'll be able to unbox that at some point this week. My mum doesn't watch my YouTube channel. I don't think she actually knows I've got a YouTube channel. So it'll be okay for me to show it to you guys on video. So after I finish this one, my mum's custom is going to be my next project that I'm going to work on, which is a Christmas present. You may have already heard, if you watch my live streams, that it's a picture of a cat that passed away last year. Actually, I think it was January this year. I can't remember if it was January this year or the January before. I could even be completely wrong with the month altogether. But she adored that cat, and I just thought it would be nice to have, because she likes diamond painting. She likes the ones that I've shown her so far. So I think it will be nice for her to have a diamond painting of a cat Aussie as as a keepsake, as a memory. So I'm pretty certain that that's going to come and it's going to look amazing when it gets here. I was disappointed. If you watch my latest unboxing, I was a little bit disappointed with my latest custom from Hurricane, but I think I need to be a little bit more forgiving with it, because I think it's all because of the way Hurricane do their custom diamond paintings. They don't do the canvases with colour on or something like that, but when you do the diamond painting, the colour shines through. And after unpacking all the diamonds, I did notice that the colours was quite bright. So from that, I'm kind of expecting that it's gonna look really good when it's finished. I was just initially disappointed because it looked so plain. There was just no colour to it. I was like, I've completely wasted my money here on this custom. But after a few comments from people, it turns out that it's that's what Hurricane do with the way they do their custom diamond paintings. And once I get the diamonds on it, it'll look just fine. So I'm going to take their word for it, and after looking at the diamonds, I think they could be right. Right, what colour are we going to do next? We're going to do N. I always think that I'm never going to have anything to talk about when I do draw with me videos. It's different when you're doing a live stream, because you can interact with people directly in the chat. So you can answer their quick questions, you can speak to them, you can just converse with them. But when I do draw with me videos, I always feel that I'm going to struggle with things to say. But actually it's quite the opposite. I sit here and I think to myself, I have no clue what I'm going to talk about. So I hunt on Google looking for tags that I can answer. But then in the end, I always end up talking about anything random anyway, so I always end up filling the time up with total garbage. My floorboard, I don't know if you guys can hear that, when every time, see, my other half's computer's upstairs, and he's got this computer chair that really creaks very badly when he leans back on the backrest. And when he does that, it actually sounds like he's going to come through the floorboards. But we have really creaky floorboards to the point where you can hear them in the mic sometimes when I'm doing videos. Sounds like I live in a haunted house. They really creak. But then this house that we live in is only 19 years old, so it's not old. It's not what I would deem as a very old house. It's 19 years old, but the floorboards have creaked pretty much since the day we moved in, and yeah, it's anybody think it was like 2 centuries old the way it creaks? Even our front door used to creak until it was oiled a few months back. We are coming up to Halloween though, so maybe it'll be quite fitting for Halloween. So I'm going to answer a few questions from a tag. I haven't been tagged by anybody, it's just a random tag that I found on Google that looked remotely interesting. It was entitled, one of these tags, like get to know me tags. I mean, I think most of you know a bit about me now anyway, because I've done a few of these in the past, and doing live stream videos as well. You kind of pick up on different things about me, so you get to know me through my videos. But I think I can't decide if I need to put wax on this pen or not, because sometimes it's picking the diamonds up and other times it's just being totally uncooperative. Sometimes if I just get the tweezers and just move the wax around in the pen a little bit and just rotate it, it's good again for a little while longer. See, it's picking them up again fine. This is still, I think this is still the first piece of tacket that I've put in this pen since I've had it. And I think I had this pen, was it the end of August? And I've never replaced the tacket. Not once. So I hope you guys are all having a good weekend. When you see this video, it will be Monday, because I'm recording this on Sunday the 7th of October, I think it is. So by the time you see this video, it's gonna be Monday. I think I'm done with all the ends. So I hope you had a good weekend, I should say, because the weekend will be over by the time you see it. So anyway, I am going to answer a few questions from this tag. Well, question 1, it's a get to know me tag questions. So question 1, are you named after anyone? I don't think I'm named after anybody. My mom has never said that I was named after anybody. So to answer that one, which is a quite quick one to answer, no, I don't think I am. Wait, Cleo. My cat, right, she's had this habit of like scratching. She's got a scratch post. She's got several scratch posts actually, but she insists on scratching on the side of my sofa. And I don't know why she's just started doing it recently, but she needs to stop it. I know my sofa's wrecked, but we don't need it wrecking anymore by my cat pulling out the innards of my sofa. What we're doing next is the hourglass, which is, I can't see it. Does anyone else do this when you're looking up and down your legend to try and find the colour that the symbol that you're looking for and you just cannot find it? 3041. So what do you guys plan on doing for Christmas anyway? Are you guys planning on, do you stop at home? Do you go visit family? Do you have family come and visit you? What do you guys do at Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, of course, because I understand that not everybody celebrates Christmas, but if you do, what do you do at Christmas? What is your tradition at Christmas? This year, I don't actually know what we're gonna do. Normally, it's always been tradition ever since I was a kid, actually. So I've moved from answering those tags. I think I'm just going to answer those if I get stuck for things to say. But it's always been a tradition. When I was a kid, I used to wake up on Christmas morning. I used to open all my Christmas gifts, and then my Nan and Grandad used to come over, and my Grandad always used to buy me a gift. Well, both me and my sister, because I've got one sister. He always used to buy me and my sister just one gift, just from Grandad. And so every year they used to come over and we used to open this present off my Grandad, and then they would stop for a drink, and then they would go, and then they would do whatever they do on Christmas Day. I can't remember what they used to do now. It was such a long time ago. And then my mum would start cooking Christmas dinner. My dad would go and fetch actually, I don't know if my dad would have gone to fetch my grandparents, because at this point I had 2 sets of grandparents. I only have one Nan now. Both my other Nan and my Grandad passed away. My Grandad passed away 2 years ago, July just gone, and my nan passed away 14 years ago, maybe even longer than that. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I only have my one nan now from my dad's side of the family. Anyway, so at that point my granddad used to drive. My nan could never drive. I don't actually know if my nan had a license, thinking about it. That's something I don't actually know if she could drive. But anyway, my granddad used to drive everywhere. So I'm guessing that my nan didn't have a driving license. And so when I was like really young, my nan and granddad would come over to our house and have Christmas dinner. And then obviously as my nan and granddad got older, my granddad could no longer drive. Then my dad used to go, and then my nan had obviously passed away. And then my granddad used to be collected by my dad, and then my dad used to bring him back to my mum's, and then we all used to have Christmas dinner. And then Christmas evening, Christmas Day evening, my mum used to do this massive buffet. You know, like there was like 6, 7 of us in the house at any one point, but she used to put so much food on the table that there was just way too much food. But my mum used to like just go mental with food. You either have too much or not enough. But my mum used to make lots and lots and lots of food. So we all used to have Christmas tea, as we call it, like a Christmas buffet at my mum's, and then we all used to have a drink in the evening, and then my nan and granddad would go home, or my dad would take my granddad back home. I don't even know where this question, where this is actually leading anymore. So as tradition changes, I mean, it's pretty much stayed the same after I had kids. We've always spent Christmas dinner with my mum and dad, and we've always gone over to them. That's the way it's always been. So we've kind of kept that tradition going all over the years. I mean, my son's 19 now, so, you know, I've been with my other half for quite a while. I think 21 years. So, you know, even after 21 years after leaving home, you know, the tradition still continues. What colour am I doing here? 3031. But this year, my mum has said that she doesn't want to do Christmas at hers anymore. So I'm not sure what we're going to do this Christmas now. I don't know if we're just going to stop at home, like the 4 of us, and eat dinner, and then maybe go to my mum's after, or what. I don't know what the plan is. See, things, you go so many years with like doing the same tradition over and over and over, that when it comes to actually changing that tradition to do something else, it kind of feels really weird, like it's not really Christmas if you don't celebrate it the way you've grown up to celebrate. Do you know what I mean? But we don't know what we're going to do this year, so we'll probably end up spending it at home, which is fine. I mean, I'm quite happy to stay at home. I like spending time with my family at Christmas time, because that is what Christmas is all about, is spending time with family. But I think we've got to that stage now where I think we're just growing apart. We're still really close, but we don't spend as much time as we used to. Whether that's really not a good thing, because I'd hate for the family to drift apart to the point where no one keeps in touch with anyone anymore. But everyone seems to have such busy lifestyles, like with work. Me and my sister work full time. My mum's now retired. My dad works full time. You know, my other half works full time. My son pretty much works full time. My daughter's obviously at school. So people have such busy and hectic lives, and we never know when it comes to doing something different, we never know what to do because it's something we've never done before, but we'll see. So me and my sister was talking about it today, about what we was doing at Christmas, so I don't actually know this year. I don't know. Anyway, let's answer another question. Question 2, when was the last time I cried? The last time I cried was probably on Thursday, because I was in so much pain that it made me cry, which is what led me to go to the doctors, because it was so painful. That was probably the last time I cried. The time before that I can't remember. I do tend to cry. I am quite an emotional person. I'll cry at sad movies. You know, I will, if someone else cries, then I will cry too, and I find that I can cry quite easily. Sometimes I can laugh so hard that I cry. I think I'll go into a bit of a hysterics where I laugh so much that I physically start bawling my eyes out. I'm such a weird person. I mean, you can laugh sometimes and, you know, tears are rolling down your face, but sometimes I can do that and laugh so hard that I cry, but then I can proper, like, sob, and it's uncontrollable, and this all comes from a laugh, because I've been laughing so hard, and then it's just weird. But the last time I cried was probably on Thursday. Question 3, do you have kids? If not, how many do you want? Yes, I do have kids. One has grown up now, he's 19, and my daughter is 14, so I have 2 children. If you were another person, let me move this screen over a second. I've lost my mouse. If you were another person, would you be a friend of yourself? Probably, yeah. Because I know my own traits. I know my good points and my bad points. So if I was going to be friends with anyone and it was going to have to be myself, then yeah, I would definitely be friends with myself, because I deem myself to be trustworthy, and I'm compassionate. You know, I'm tactful. I don't go at things like a bull at a gate, that sort of thing. Oh, and I would hope that people would be able to approach me and feel that they could entrust me with whatever it was that was on their minds, and know that they could trust me not to go gossiping around the workplace or to the rest of the family. I feel that if I was going to be a friend of myself, then I would be a friend of myself, because I know that I'm that kind of person. These questions are quite difficult for me to explain. Do you use sarcasm a lot? Question 5. Yes, I do. I am very, very sarcastic, sometimes to the point where I know I shouldn't be. Especially when you know you've got something quite sensitive, but you're trying to make light of that particular moment. 647. Let me get my next colour. But I can be a very, very sarcastic person. And I do try and make light out of a situation when I know things are difficult. I will try and make people feel better with my sarcastic wit, because I have a very dry sense of humour. But sometimes I can do it quite inappropriately and at the wrong times, and then I feel like a complete fool, because I've just made a complete idiot of myself, because I've tried to be funny at the wrong moment, or I've tried to say something or do something and it's come out the wrong way. Like I've said something meaning, but what I've said has actually been misconstrued into something else. So what I actually meant to say, someone else thinks that I've said something bad because they've understood what I've said in a different context, in a different light. I find that that can happen quite often when you are in the written word. Like if you're writing someone a letter and you're trying to say something in a letter, it can be misconstrued as you saying one thing but actually you're meaning another. But to the person that's reading the letter, what you've actually said can be completely thrown out of context, and then they can be left feeling that you was completely insensitive to what you were talking about. So I think you have to be very, very careful with words sometimes, spoken or written, and be able to use those words appropriately and at the right times. So for me to be a kind of sarcastic person, I can very often put my foot in it, as they say, and say things that I perhaps shouldn't have. But that's just the way I am, unfortunately. That's just the way I am. But I'm learning. I do try and think before I open my mouth. It doesn't always work. I tend to just speak and then think later and then think, oh, and then you realise I shouldn't have said that, but by the time you said it, it's too late. What's the next question? What is the first thing you notice about people? I think the first thing I notice about people is I like to look at people directly in the eye. So the first thing that I would look at when I was speaking to someone, even if someone I was meeting for the first time, would be their eyes. Because their eyes would be the first thing that I would look at when trying to communicate with someone. I would make the eye contact. 3078. Ooh, we've got a nice yellow. Look at that. So yeah, I would say the eyes would be the first thing that I would look at. And then I would look at the mouth. And then probably the hair. That would be the third thing I would look at. So eyes first, then the mouth, then the hair. I think that's the way, the order that I would do it. I'm sure. But yeah, I'm pretty certain that the mouth is the first. The eyes would be the first thing that I would look at. I'm just trying to think actually if it is. But yeah, making that eye contact is the first thing that I try and do with anybody. So yeah, eyes would be the first thing that I check out. Number 7, what is your eye colour? My eye colour is blue. Sometimes I look at my eyes and think they've turned green. I think it all depends on the light that you're looking in as well. So if I look in my phone, in my camera on my phone, my eyes look very, very dark blue. But then if I'm looking in the mirror, my eyes can sometimes seem like a grey blue, like kind of a washed out blue. But I was born with blue eyes, but then I think most babies are born with blue eyes, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think most babies are born with blue eyes. But I've always had blonde hair and blue eyes. Obviously my hair's darkened over the years. It's gone to like a really dark, dirty blonde, if you like, over the years. But when I was very younger, I was always blonde haired and blue eyed, because I was the angel. I wish. Like butter wouldn't melt. Yeah, right. Scary movie or happy endings? Question 8. I like scary movies. But then, actually, I like both types. I don't really think I could say one or the other, because I like both types of movie. It depends on the mood that I'm in as well. It would all depend on how I feel at the time, whether or not I would prefer to watch a scary movie or have a movie with a happy ending. It would all depend on my mood at the time. And most of the times when you watch scary movies anyway, they always, most of the time, they end up having a happy ending anyway, because the bad guy always dies, or whatever it is. I've got diamonds stuck in the funnel of my tray. If you can hear scraping, it's me trying to get the stuck diamonds out of this little funnel with tweezers. Question 9, favourite smells. I think I might have answered this before. I'm not sure. But I love the smell of bread. Some mornings, if I leave the house early enough, I can smell like the bread baking at the bakery, and it smells amazing. I don't think you can beat anything than freshly baked bread. So I'd say that is probably one of my favourite smells. Z372. No idea how long this video has been going on for, by the way. I didn't check the time before I started it. But I do tend to waffle on quite a bit, so it's probably been going about half an hour and I've not even noticed. 372 Z. There goes my creaky floorboards again. What's the next question? Question 10. What's the furthest you've ever been from home? I've only ever been abroad twice. I think I've answered this question before in another tag. I've been abroad twice. I've been to Spain and I've been to Ibiza, which are pretty much the same kind of place-ish, kind of. I'm not very good with geography, but yeah, they're not very far from one another, I don't think. So that's the furthest that I've ever been away from home. I haven't travelled very well. I can't remember the last time I actually went abroad. It has to be at least 25, even maybe 25 years. Yeah, it's got to be that long ago. Oh my god. It's making me feel super old now thinking of it that way. Yeah, well, I've been with my other half for 21 years. And we've never been abroad together. So it's got to be at least coming up to 25, 30 years the last time I went abroad. I don't even have an in-date passport anymore, which is another thing that I've got to get sorted, because that's just reminding me, because I still have, I don't know about people in the States, how it works for you guys, but in the UK, we used to have like paper driving licenses, but then a few years ago, or quite a few years ago now I think, they changed them to photographic driving licenses. So when you apply for a driving license now, you have to have like a picture, like a credit card shaped, sized driving license that has your picture on it, your face, like your passport photo, and then you have like, I think there's like another counterpart that comes with it. So when you pass your test now, that's what you get as standard. But I never changed my driving licence from the old style paper driving licence, which doesn't have any photographic evidence on there. But I've never actually gotten round to changing it. It's something that put to the back of my mind and keep forgetting about. But when you do a lot of things now, when you're applying for finance, even like changing the contract on your phone, for example, on your mobile phone, a lot of companies now are asking you for like photographic ID. And apart from my passport, which is out of date, I don't actually have any photographic ID. So I do need to get my passport renewed or get my driving license changed. It's something that I keep planning on doing but never getting around to. So I have to make a mental note now to do that, because it's something that I need to do, because applying for things now and even collecting something from the post office that needs to be signed for, they ask for photographic ID. And it makes life so difficult when you have to say, I'm sorry, I don't have any photographic ID. I have a passport, but it's out of date. And sometimes they will accept it, other times they won't, because I think the passports have like some kind of hologram on them. So when you put them through these holographic readers or whatever they're called, it shows up the hologram on the passport or on the driving license. But if the old style passports don't have that feature, so it's more difficult to try and work out if you are who you say you are. So I went about a month ago it was to collect, it was diamond painting related, I know that much, but I went to collect a painting, I think it was, because it was shipped by a different courier. Normally they get dispatched and delivered by Royal Mail, but on one instance it came by, I think it was Yodel, which is another delivery company, and they put this card through the door to say they'd tried to deliver a parcel, and then asked me to come back at a certain, after a certain day to go and collect it. And I went to the place to collect it, and they was asking for all kinds of ID, and I said I've only got my passport, which is out of date, as a form of photographic ID. Will that be sufficient? And he had to call his supervisor, and then he was looking at me, he was proper eyeballing me, and I heard him say on the phone, yes, it does resemble her. I said, I can see the resemblance, but this picture was taken like years ago. So thanks for telling me that I still look like I did all those years ago. But in the end he did give me my parcel, and then that kind of instilled in my mind then that I needed to get things up to date and get my new driving license and get a new passport. But still, a month later, and I'm still just as I was before. So yeah, I do need to get it sorted though. I definitely do. Right, what's the next question? Where were you born? I was born under a wandering star. I was born in a hospital in Warsaw. Anyone from the West Midlands may know the West Midlands. No, anyone from the UK may know the West Midlands, and a town called Warsaw. That was where I was born, in a hospital, and I happened to be born. Now, I don't know how this works, but I was born on the 13th of the month. My birthday is actually the 13th of October, which is next week. Yay! Party! But for some reason, I was born, I think, a minute after midnight. So I was actually, no, a minute before me. I don't know. Mum, I get confused. But my birthday, actually, I think I was born on the stroke of midnight or something ridiculous. And the nurse asked my mom to choose a date. So it was either the 12th or the 13th. So of course my mum chose the 13th of October. So of course, if you're superstitious, guess what day your birthday falls on if you have birthdays on the 13th? A Friday. So yes, I have my birthdays occasionally on Friday the 13th. What better way could you ask for to spend your birthday? But there's a story about it but I can't remember all the details. But my mum was asked when she wanted my birthday to be, because of how close I was to midnight. But my mum chose the 13th. Do I have any special talents? No. I don't. I used to be able to play the organ when I was a lot younger, when I was probably 14, 15, maybe a little bit younger. I did actually get quite good at it as well. But I got to that stage where, hold on a minute, let me just get this colour, because I have difficulty multitasking. 3855. It's a nice yellow, like a creamy yellow. Yeah, I used to play the organ when I was probably about 13, 14 years old. But I was starting to get to that age where I thought socialising with my friends was more important. And I kind of started losing interest in it. Whereas if I'd have actually continued with these lessons, I could have got to the stage where I could have taught. And yeah, I've seen what music teachers earn from being a tutor now. So I look back on it now and I'm thinking, if I could change anything, I would have stuck with that, and I would have gotten my grades, and I could have taught other people how to play the organ. It wasn't just the keyboard, like one keyboard. I used to play like the two keyboards together with the pedals. So I used to play the melody, the chords, and the pedals all together simultaneously. And I did have an organ at home. And I came home from school one day. I hadn't played it for a while. I didn't practice very much because obviously my friends were more important at that point. And I hadn't practiced for a while, and I got home from school one day, and I discovered that my organ was not there anymore. So Mum had sold it. So, and from that day on, really, I kind of lost interest in it altogether. I did have an organ at my nan and granddad's, but when my granddad passed away, we got rid of the organ, because my granddad used to be a very, very heavy smoker, and it got into all the workings of the organ, and it was very, very dusty, and it was no longer in working order. And I didn't have the room in my house to keep it, so it was dismantled and put in the tip, really, which is quite sad, because there's a lot of memories and there was a lot of history there. But at the time I had no other option. I couldn't keep it here because I don't have the room. So it was all dismantled and took to the tip. But if I'd have carried on with my lessons, if I could look back on anything now and could change anything, that's probably one of the questions. I would actually do that. I would forget about the whole friends are more important. I would actually think, and I would knuckle down, and I would do things right if I had another chance at things. 3822. But we learn from our mistakes. But if I could turn back the clock, that's what I would do. I'm going to try and finish this section off before I end this video. I have absolutely no clue how long this video is being going for. So I hope you've all got your diamond paintings and you're just listening along while I'm doing this. I have to admit, I do this quite a bit. I listen to people do drill with me's, or sometimes even unboxings. And I'll just sit there and diamond paint, and I'll just listen along at the same time, and it's nice. It actually feels like you're with someone while you're doing it. Does that make sense? Like, you don't feel alone. Not that I'm alone anyway, because I've got, my family around me, but It feels like you're having a conversation with someone else without actually saying anything. It makes you feel less alone, like you're diamond painting with somebody. What's my next question? What's your zodiac sign, and do you believe in it? My zodiac sign is Libra, because I was born in October. Let's do the number 6. Do I believe in it though? 783. This is like a mustardy colour. Do I believe in it though? I'd like to say I do. I used to read my horoscopes every day, but there was never any truth in them. And they always used to say what was going to happen that day in your love life, what was going to happen financially, and then, I don't know, I'd like to say I believe in it, but I'm not sure if I do. When I was younger I did, but now I'm not so sure. What are your hobbies? Well, that's a difficult one to answer. No, my favourite hobbies are obviously diamond painting. YouTubing is now a hobby of mine. I love doing videos on YouTube. I look forward to doing videos on YouTube. I find it interesting. I find it fun. You know, I've made so many friends and got to know so many people by doing this. So, you know, what's turned out as a hobby, what started as a hobby has turned out to be something that I've made quite a few good friends from. So I do like diamond painting. I like doing YouTube. I do like playing games as well. I don't tend to play as many games as I used to before, especially since I started diamond painting. All I ever used to do in my spare time really was play games. If it would be The Sims, World of Warcraft, the latest MMO, whatever it was at that particular point. I've probably been there, done that with on the gaming front. But since I've started diamond painting, I tend to find that this has taken priority over gaming. I still like to play games as much as I can and when I can. But with being, you know, with working full time, it's difficult to get the balance right. Next question. Next symbol, 317 for these arrows. 317. What other questions are there? Right, another question here. Question 15. Do you have any pets? Yes, I have a dog called Lola and I have a cat called Cleo. My cat is just a normal tabby. She's almost like Bengal when I look at her sometimes. When you look at her tummy, she's got the marks, like similar markings to a Bengal. But when she went to the vet, she was actually marked as a domestic short hair. So, and my dog is a border collie. Her name's Lola. My cat is 2, and my dog is 11. So she's aging a little bit now. Is Lola. She struggles. She used to be able to like jump up on the bed at a weekend, but she can't do that anymore. She just doesn't have the power in her back legs anymore to like push her onto the bed. Yeah, she can't jump up. She'll try and jump up here, but I think her back legs are starting to cause her a bit of grief now. But yeah, she's 11 now, so I don't know how old that equates to in dog years. I'm guessing about 80 in dog years. I think, would it be about 833 for 9? 8339. Oh my god, there's kids outside and they're making such a racket. Don't know if you can hear them screaming outside. Yeah, I'm going to try and finish this section off before I end this video. It'd be nice to finish a section. Oh, there's a car going by who's probably just blared their horn at the kids playing in the streets because they're idiots and they have no road sense. Okay, there's all the 9s done, I think. Do I have any siblings? Question 16. Yes, I have one sister. Who we used to fight like cat and dog when we was younger. I mean, I think that's standard anyway with any brother, sister, 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 brother, brother relationship. When you're kids, you tend to fight like cat and dog. But now I would say she's the person that I go to with most of my problems. And I think she does the same. She confides in me and I confide in her. So we are quite close now, but when we was kids, we would try and poke each other's eyes out with stiletto heels, that sort of thing. She used to throw stilettos across the room, trying to hit me with them. That was the kind of relationship me and my sister had when we was younger. But now we're very close now. So yeah, I have one sister. Right, 842 is the P. What did I want to be when I grew up? I always wanted to be a dentist. I don't know why a dentist, but yeah, my dream was to be a dentist. Now I just don't even know why I would even think that being a dentist would have suited me, because yeah, it's in the medical field, which is kind of in the same realms as what I'm doing now, like medical related. But now I wouldn't even dream of being a dentist, so I don't know where that feeling came from to wanting to be a dentist when I was younger. I have absolutely no idea. Then I wanted to be a nurse, so I've kind of stayed around that medical field. So I've always done something medically related in my work. I mean, I did a few admin jobs, but most of the time it's been mainly centered around medical stuff. I honestly, hand on heart, don't know why I wanted to be a dentist. I was in primary school as well, because I can remember sitting in the quiet room, as they used to be called then, where you used to go and sit and read books. You would think that would be like the standard place you would go in, like as it being a library, but not a quiet room in like a little room off a classroom. You would think a library would be where you go to read books, but no, we had quiet rooms that we used to use. And I can remember a teacher asking me what I wanted to be when I finished school, and I always remember saying I wanted to be a dentist. Don't know why. Next one then, 3770. I like this colour, nice and peachy. Who was my first best friend? My first best friend. Oh, I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. I can remember who my best friend was in high school, but I can't remember who my best friend would have been when I was in primary school or even before that. I don't remember. What's the lead? Oh, how tall am I? I am 5'6". I think I'm shrinking because I think at one point when I measured myself, I was 5'5". But yeah, as far as I'm aware, I'm still 5'6". I think that's probably when I've got shoes with a slight heel on. But I think as you get older, I think you do naturally start to shrink. I think you shrink. But I always used to be 5'6", but now I think I'm 5'5". I think we're pretty much done with this now. I've only got a little bit of confetti left to do, and then I'm done with this section. So it's starting to take shape now. Can you see? I'm actually really liking how it's turning out. I can't wait to see the rest of it. What's the least favourite thing about myself? Probably my weight. It affects my self-confidence a lot. I actually had this conversation with my doctor on Thursday, 8:40. I had this conversation with my doctor on Thursday that I know I need to lose weight. I know I am overweight, but it's not always as easy as people think it is to lose weight. But I sometimes, if I'm walking like past a mirror, like in a shop or something, if you're in a clothes shop and you walk past the mirror, I am just like mortified by my body shape. You know, the saying goes, learn to live the skin that you're in, but I'm trying to, but I just can't, and I know that I need to lose weight. And part of the issue that I'm having at the moment, health-wise, is probably related to my weight. And this is why I was having the conversation with my doctor about it. But she even said to me, yeah, it's easier said than done. You know, it's not like you can just wave a magic wand and hey ho, you've lost 3 stone. You know, it just doesn't work that way. So the least favourite thing about myself is definitely my weight. Second from that was probably my nose. I hate my nose. I just think it sticks out. I always used to be nicknamed Concorde when I was a kid, because my nose used to be so big. It looked out of proportion with the rest of my body. So kids used to nickname me Concorde. Can't kids be so mean? Mean and hurtful. Right, I've only got this little section here to do, so I can pretty much say that this is complete. I'm going to finish the rest of this off camera. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little drill with me video. I'll say little, it's probably lasted about 3 hours. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to do my next live stream yet. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do it before the weekend. There won't be a live stream at the weekend because it's my birthday on the Saturday and I've got family, well, my mother-in-law's coming over to visit on the Saturday, so it's unlikely that I'm going to be able to get any diamond painting done on that day at all. I'm going to have to hide this underneath some kind of under that white sheet that I usually use when I do my unboxings. I'm going to have to hide this because this diamond painting's for her for Christmas and she's no idea that she's getting it. So I might start work on a smaller diamond painting. I might actually start working on my Soulmates one from Zooey Star that's been hanging around for like months and months. It's actually hanging up in my bedroom at the moment, so I could make a start on that at the weekend. But as for Sunday, I don't know what my plan is on Sunday. I might be able to do a live stream on the Sunday. I just haven't quite worked out the plan for the week yet. But hopefully there will be a live at some point this week. I just can't promise the day. So I'm going to sign off here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this this rambling drill with me video. And oh my god, these are like proper stuck in the funnel. Look, that's what happens. They just get stuck there. The camera's not going to focus, obviously. And they just do not want to let go. And then when they do, they just flick off somewhere that's not in the tray. So now I've got them stuck all over my keyboard. Yay! Right, and I've now got 5% left on my iPad. Right, so I'm going to sign off here then. Hopefully I will be back at some point in the week with my next unboxing, which will be my custom from Evermoment. So I'm really excited to look at that when it gets here. So I shall hopefully see you at some point in the week. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like this video. If you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing and make sure you click the bell, and that way you'll get notified exactly when I upload my next video. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day and I shall see you all in the next one. Happy diamond painting, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.